I'm back. I want to start with just a bit of a thank you. Classic, you know, I got a lot of support in the last video. Thank you to everybody who commented. I read them all and responded to all of them, I think. I hope. By now, I hope that should be updated. And if you're watching this in the year like 2049 or something, I probably haven't seen your comment yet. Sorry to break it to you. I've been given some advice from the last video, and there's been some healthy criticism. Some of you are confused as to why I'm holding a big-ass mic. It's because my hands are used to holding things much larger, if you know what I mean. This doesn't even half cut the width or the length that I'm used to, so it's not really helping, but there's only so much I'm gonna be able to do about that, you know. Another tip that I got, literally, is that I should spice up my video with some Subway Surfers gameplay. I recorded this myself, so I hope you're enjoying this. Does this make it more entertaining? Are you watching me or the Subway gameplay right now? Let's be honest with ourselves. I meant to do some looking into the origins. I know it comes from the Elder Scrolls Online, maybe, with a pack of horse armor. I'll put some article on the screen right now talking about it. But I didn't bother to look into it. I'm tired and I'm cold, and I wanted to record a video. We're cozied up. I got the big socks because these little piggies, they got cold. I got my brand new NASA hoodie because I like going over budget, much like NASA. And the Christmas lights are still up. How do weather people do that? You know, like thing over here, thing over here, thing down here. This one's going well. No idea how they do that. I don't think I'd be capable of doing that job myself. But alas, I'm not here to be doing that job. I'm here to rant to you about my opinions on microtransactions and DLCs, and I have a lot of them. I actually have show notes this time that I wrote in my English book. Let me find them. Ah, there they are. This is my, I'll be reading off of this. Just kidding, it's actually this. But I'll be reading off of this for most of it. There's really a lot to learn here, a lot to be said. I wanted to start out initially, again, by talking about the origins of it, but I didn't look into it. I just know that it comes from one single employee, I believe, who pitched an idea, and probably now feels a bit like Oppenheimer for unleashing microtransactions out of the gaming world and making things hella expensive for us. But after that, first category I wanted to get into was the dreaded Fortnite. I know, it's scary, it's a terrifying thing, but holy fuck, that game has its problems with microtransactions, and I think in the modern state is like the biggest example of it. Like, ramped it up probably the most by like 10 notches. Unbelievable how many microtransactions are in that game. It started off with Save the World and Battle Passes. In Save the World, you could complete challenges, I think the dailies or something, to get like 100 V-Bucks. And you still can if you have the version that's like pre-2020, because somewhere along the line they changed that. They didn't want people to be able to earn them anymore or something, I guess, so they changed Save the World, and I figured that out a bit too late. I got Save the World, it's just like, oh, there we go, it's like infinite battle pass, but it wasn't, because I have the late version. My friend still has the current, the old one with the V-Bucks included, so I help him out with challenges and that from time to time. But I still do like Save the World because it has the same cartoony kind of artistic feel as old Fortnite did, so it's kind of like a point of reminiscence for me, I'd say, but I know that's not the right word, like nostalgia, kind of. And on top of Save the World, Fortnite has the Battle Pass, which famously introduced long time ago. I'm not gonna Google that. I'll put another number on screen. Really putting editing Justin through the ringer. Sorry. The Battle Pass initially, I think, has costed 950 V-Bucks, and it would get you more than that in return. You could progress through levels and achieve V-Bucks and use that towards your next Battle Pass or towards an item shop purchase, whatever you preferred. But it allowed you access to the premium skins and stuff that only people who paid for the Battle Pass could acquire. And a lot of those, I think, are coming back to the item shop now. I don't play the game a whole lot, but I think at some point they raised the price to 1,000. Why'd you get so greedy, Fortnite? What was that for, Epic? Epic, you're not historically greedy, right? You don't make some historically bad moves like a lot of layoffs, right? And it also has a huge issue with skins and bundles. I know that skins fine. They're fairly priced. They can be fun, and they are your character. So I can understand the cosmetics, because I've bought a couple that I thought were really cool when I used to play it. But the bundles get a bit more confusing. I don't understand why you'd pay so much for like a pickaxe. And they do the thing that Black Friday does. It's Black Friday as of yesterday, actually, recording this. So it's like Saturday the 29th or something. But they do that thing. Black Friday, a lot of companies increase their price before Black Friday. And then when Black Friday comes, they slash it back down to the normal price. So it looks like you're getting a good deal, but they're absolutely lying to your face, and I don't know why people take that. Fortnite's done that before. I think my younger brother pointed out to me when we were looking at the item shop once. He pulled up a skin that was like brand new, and it said on sale. And it was like the first time I think it had ever been in the item shop. But Fortnite has a huge issue with putting things on like fake sale too. But people are going to fall for that. And it's not going to be a huge point of contention or a huge point of backlash, because people don't really give a fuck. It's optional. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay to win. I'll get to you later in the video, guys. Now, there is a point where it gets kind of crazy. Once Fortnite did that huge update, they started to add in cars. So whenever you get in a car in the Rocket Royale, maybe it's called, mode, where you drive around, it's a Rocket League discount like racing, or you drive in game, your car will magically turn into the model of real life car that you paid for. I've seen this with, like, I think they have BMWs on there. They have Nissan Skyline, which somebody I know, I'm looking at you, has purchased, which is kind of beyond me. But why? Why do you need that? And then furthermore, they added jam tracks. Songs. They've added songs into Fortnite. Yes, you can play them in like the Guitar Hero mode, so I get that part of it. But they also have them as lobby music. So you're telling me you were paying like what converts to like $8 Canadian. I don't know how much it is in American. For like Linger by the Cranberries to be playing in the background. Spotify exists. I can pull it up right here and pull up Fortnite there. Or you can put it on your phone if you don't have two mod. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I do get the appeal to play it in the Guitar Hero mode. I know that Rocksmith and a lot of like rhythm games do lock songs behind paywalls. But Fortnite, you're not a rhythm game. Like, that's a game mode. I think they gotta understand that. But you know what? Hey, it's a business. What do I know? They're making money off of it. Not really my place to comment, but I'm a consumer of the video game kind of like industry, so I'm going to rant about it regardless. And you know what? I could understand jam tracks. I could get jam tracks because you play with it. I could get the characters because you are the fucking character. And I could get cars because there's a whole mode dedicated to the car. I think maybe it transfers to Rocket League. I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know anything about that. But shoes? Are you kidding me? You're adding kicks to shoes to Fortnite. Expensive ass shoes. I'm talking shoes that cost as much, if not more, than a player's skin. Ridiculous. How are you're scamming your audience? You are straight up scamming your audience. You're scamming your audience of little kids into thinking that they need cool Fortnite Jordans to be cooler than their other guy who's playing as like John Wick in Fortnite. Like, what do you mean? And it's not going to be compatible with all the characters either, so you're not even getting the benefit of wearing it with like Godzilla or whatever the fuck they have in that game. I opened up the item shop and I saw shoes for 1,000 V-Bucks. That is $15 Canadian. That's a lot of money. That's like you work for an hour minimum wage to afford Fortnite shoes. What do you mean? What do you mean you're selling Fortnite shoes for $15? Like, I know the rest of them are like 500 V-Bucks, but still $7 or $8, which you have to pay to get. You can only get it in like 1,000 V-Bucks per bundle, I think. So you're paying like $15 regardless. And even if you can get them in Singularity, you're paying $8 roughly for Fortnite shoes. I'm telling you right now, when I go with my terrible aim to shoot at somebody, I'm not looking at their fucking feet. I'm telling you right now, I'm not looking at their kicks. I'm not staring at what shoes they've got on. I'm not like, hey, are those the new Jordans? I don't care. I'm shooting at you. I'm not looking. They're literally only for you and for you to flex on your buddies. But is it a flex to say you spent more money in Fortnite than your friends? I don't think so. However, in other games, very noticeable if you spend a lot of money. I've come around to you, guys in entertainment, you greedy Hungarian fucks. War Thunder is not a, it's not super common outside of its own community and like military slash engineering tech, whatever, enthusiast. War Thunder is a vehicle combat game that, as much as I'm going to criticize, I love it with my whole heart. It's got some really detailed stuff, and the way it separates itself from like World of Tanks and whatnot is that instead of a health bar, each tank and each aircraft has a 3D damage model. So like if I shoot the driver of another tank, that tank can't drive, but they can still shoot, which I think is incredibly cool and realistic. And I don't want to go too hard. Like, I don't want to play DCS because that's a simulator and I don't have the time to set aside for that. So War Thunder is like a healthy medium between arcade and simulator, and it's got its own modes in it. It's really fun, but it has beyond its own issues. I might make a video about this in itself, War Thunder being a broken game. It's got a broken economy, yeah, it's got broken everything, and it is the most pay-to-win game that I play. You can straight up pay for vehicles that you can't have access to unless you pay, and they're broken. They're broken. The game's broken down into a tech tree. You start at the top with the low-tier old vehicles, and you work your way down to the new ones. You do that through a research system. Premium vehicles are things on the side of the tech tree that can be bought, and you can just buy the top tier vehicle. So if I buy something at the top tier, I can just play that. But here's where it comes in. It's got no research penalty. So there's no decline in my research. So if I buy a top tier vehicle, because it's premium, you can just whiz right through the tech tree. And if you pay to the snail, which is Gaijin Entertainment, you will win the game. And a lot of times with countries like Russia, their premiums are overpowered. Like, they can be killed. I'm exaggerating. Maybe it's just a skill diff. But everybody knows that Gaijin is straight up pay to win. You can pay for better vehicles. You can pay for a better starter vehicle. You can pay for a better vehicle at that tier than anybody else can access because they're fucking brokies. Me included. I haven't been able to buy a premium vehicle. I'm broke, and I'm not spending that money on War Thunder. I might, but I have my reasons for that, and I'm gonna justify it and then complain about it in this video because I'm a massive hypocrite. No, I've come to terms with the premium system. I'm just more mad at the pay to win part of it, because the vehicle that I'm considering is not pay to win. It's a little bit rough around the edges, but I like it. I like it. Whereas some are just unbearable. And I think they have bias. Well, they do have bias. It's a very known thing that they have a bias towards Russia. A lot in the tech tree, in the vehicles. And if you look at geographically where they're located, and geographically what their country was formerly entwined in, you can see the bias. You can smell it, and you can probably tell what country it's towards. I know I've already mentioned it, but you get the idea. That game is plagued to hell, and another part of the pay to win is the premium account. If you buy a premium account, it like doubles your rewards. Instantly boosts your rewards by like 200% in each battles. It allows you to do a lot of shit that you can't, and I hate subscription models. I hate subscription models. GeoGuessr, a game I love. I just bonked the camera again. Sorry. GeoGuessr is a game I really love, and I would love to play it, but it's, I think it's subscription based still. I don't like subscriptions. Maybe it's just me, but I do not like owing anything. I don't like being reminded that, oh, on this date, I will lose this amount of money. I would like to, I always, anything that has that option of paying a really high price and getting the whole thing. I think some software do that where you can pay per month, or you can just get the whole thing for like 100 and something bucks. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with paying the entire price because it's something that is worth it to me. It's like buying a game. I wouldn't want to buy a game in increments and continuously. I want to pay one set price. Maybe it's just me bitching about subscription models, but I really don't like them. And War Thunder falls victim to pay to win because of that subscription model. Similar to the Battle Pass, but at least the Battle Pass gives you the opportunity to regenerate it. Like, you can get the V-Bucks from it. Though I was looking through it and I noticed a lack of V-Bucks compared to what I noticed in previous Battle Passes. Call me conspiracy, you know, put a tinfoil hat on my head. But I don't know, man. It just seems like they're lowering the amount and raising the price. And this kind of leads in with the whole pay-to-win aspect into pay-to-play. I'm looking at you, DLC locked games. That's right, we've hit the DLC center of the video. And more specifically, I want to talk about Paradox Interactive. Paradox Interactive is responsible for a lot of RTS games, builders, overview strategies, military strategy, conquest games, stuff like Hearts of Iron 4, Crusader Kings series, the City Skylines, most famously. Somebody commented in the last video about that and how mad they were with that. That was also City Skylines 2, terrible game on release. And so much is DLC locked with some of these games. Somebody I was talking to about this made a good point though. Some games like Crusader Kings, I played the third one, is not DLC locked. There are DLCs that allow you to access more of the game, but the game is still perfectly functional without DLCs. City Skylines is different. Now, I don't play it nearly as much as one of my friends, but he was telling me a good chunk about this. A lot of what he likes, public transport, is locked behind DLC. Like functional, good public transport is pretty heavily DLC locked, and along with tons of other things like maps and different like disasters and things that can occur within your city in the city builder game are locked behind DLC paywalls. You can't just access them. You can't just buy them with the game. They're locked behind DLC. And I think that's a huge problem. I think you can release DLC to add more to your game, but I don't think your playability should be locked behind DLC. I don't think you should be restricted. Because at that point, make your game free, which is what The Sims 4 did. That game's free, but I know a shit ton of the careers and like opportunities in that game are just straight up so expensive. DLC locked to high hell, and I couldn't fathom playing a game like that, which is kind of leads me into what I want to talk about on the final topic of the show notes. It's right at the tip there. Yeah, right there. That's what I'm reading off of right now. And it's Arma. I know I'm transitioning pretty quick between topics, but I have good reason, because my phone is low on storage. And I want to edit this video. Maybe I'm not going to edit tonight. I'm not going to lie to myself. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But Arma 3 is a military simulator, milsim kind of game. And that, I have wanted to get it, but it seems so DLC locked. For a live support game with online multiplayer, to suffer from DLC locking is very polarizing to your community, because you're going to feel pressure to buy those DLCs to partake in that fun. So in Arma, things like some aircraft and tanks and like basic shit is DLC locked. And that is really shitty, which is why instead I bought Squad, and the only DLC I've seen for Squad, maybe I'm not looking hard enough, is just weapon skins. And every time they get an update, it's like free, live support, right to the public. And I like that. I like that. I think that's great. I think it's a great model to keep your game alive. And it's great if you are that like ethical with it towards your community, because then your community is gonna like you for being that ethical. Like the game Ready or Not, that's also a milsim strategy game, and I love it. I love it. They are great developers. They post their development blogs on Steam, and I read them. I'm a nerd. I read their development blogs, and they're really down-to-earth people. They're working really hard to improve their game, and they're working just good shit. They released a DLC, the Home Invasion DLC, that came along with a huge free update. The guns from the free update were free. They were part of the DLC, but they were free to anybody to use. The only thing locked behind the DLC were missions and skins. And the missions were available as long as your friend had the DLC and was hosting the lobby. So you didn't even... I don't have that DLC. My friend does, and I've gotten to play all the maps on that DLC. And I love it. I think that's a great way to run it. And as a consumer of that product, I'm a big fan of it. It's ethical. It makes me happy. And they're dropping another DLC soon, which I think builds on that. I think it's going to do the same thing, and I'm really happy with that. I think games should continue to follow that model, and I think if you're a game developer, I get that money doesn't just come by itself. It's not just going to come through player count, but I think you should take into account yourself. If you were a consumer of that game, how would you want that DLC or that product or that add-on to be released, or how would you want those microtransactions to function? Because again, like Fortnite, I would put in 1 billion hours into Save the World if it meant I could earn V-Bucks. It's just a motivator to play more if you can earn a currency, because it kind of feels like you're earning like something special. A lot more special than just EXP or whatever. I really want to play Save the World right now. I actually have such an urge to do that, but alas. And there's alternatives to these games, like if you don't have the money for Squad or Arma or Ready or Not, there's a free game called Operation Harsh Doorstop. Live support, the developers are releasing updates for free, and it's adjacent to those games. I just find that Squad is better built. Whoa. It's more well-rounded, and I enjoy it more. I enjoy it a lot more than Harsh Doorstop, but maybe that's just me. We've hit the end of the script. I don't think I'm going to stop talking for a couple minutes. I've still got more to say, but we've hit the tip of the show notes right now. Yep, you just busted. I'm going to put Dreamyable audio over that. Have you seen Dreamyable lately? I've seen him on like TikTok playing the saxophone, like Christmas music and shit, and I'm like, whoa, this he's back. Because I think he didn't like all the attention and stopped doing like his OF and stuff, which is kind of interesting to me. He changed. That dude has a wife and kids, by the way. How are you gonna do that as your career and have kids? They're not gonna find out? You don't think your kids have internet access? If I saw any of my family members on those kind of platforms, I don't think I'd sleep right for several weeks. I don't think I'd be okay ever. Speaking of sleeping right, I just got this new like diffuser. Cause I used to have one at my mom's like years ago, and I liked it, and it helped me sleep, and it made my room smell super nice and lovely. But I haven't had one since. So now I've got a box of essential spice fragrance oils, and I feel like a loser. Guys, am I gonna get crystals next? Am I gonna get rose quartz and start praying to it? That's actually kind of cool though. I think, you guys think that works? Like if I grab, ooh, what if I made the whole room rose quartz? Next setup idea, everything's rose quartz. Anyway, thank you for tolerating my little ramble at the end. I think I have to have that in every video, some kind of off the rails rambling. Let me know if this video seemed too scripted or too, because it was structured but not scripted. Just give me your overall thoughts about the video. I'm gonna go probably grab hot chocolate because I'm cold as hell, and these little piggies still haven't warmed up. You don't get to see them without the socks for free. That's gonna be on my Patreon. Just kidding, I don't have one. But thank you for all the support again. Share it with people who you think would like this kind of content. I'm thinking of doing a video gaming for the next one. I'll revert back to my roots for that one. And I've got a really banger idea coming up, like a real fucking heater that's gonna be in the works soon. Probably won't be out for a long time, but yeah, let me know if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. I'm gonna close this out like every other YouTuber ever. I'm gonna put some like Roblox lobby tycoon music, and see ya.